What's up, people? Financial freedom mindset. Today we're talking about how to save money. Sounds easy, could be easy, but if it was easy, everybody will be doing it. Unfortunately, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So today I'm going over the strategies that I use in order to save money. Number one, come up with a plan. So I sat down and I came up with a budget. I wrote down on the paper so I could visually see it that how much money I brung in. And I sat down and I wrote how much money I was spending every month. For my spending, I had two columns, my wants and my needs. Your needs are your priorities. These are the most important bills that you must pay every month. You have to pay your mortgage. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your car payment. You have to pay your car insurance. You have to pay electric. You have to pay for gas. You have to buy groceries so you can eat. These are your needs. These are priorities. The other column was for my wants. These are things that you don't necessarily need. They just make your life convenient to have, such as Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Music. These are wants. Gym memberships. Some people have gym memberships and they don't use it. And I was one of those people. So when I sat down and I wrote down my budget, I can clearly see why it was so hard for me to save money, because I was spending more than I was earning for the month. Number two, you gotta cut back on spending. I know a lot of people don't want to do it, but you have to. Now that you wrote down your budget and your plan and you got it on a piece of paper, you gotta cut off your wants. You gotta cut back on the Hulu. You gotta cut back on the Netflix. You gotta cut back on iTunes, the Spotify, the titles. You got to cut back, because those little things, even though they look like they don't cost much, they start to add up at the end of the month. You're like, where's my money going? That's where a lot of your money going. Yes, you have to pay bills. You cannot cut back on those bills. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your car insurance. You have to pay your car payment. You can't do nothing about those for the time being. But as of right now, you have to cut back on your wants. Eating out gets very expensive. If you're eating out 3-4 times a week, you better off going to the grocery store, buying something and cooking. You get more quality food and you get more portions of the food. You have to cut back. Yes, it's not going to be exciting at first, but if you want to save money, this is one step that you have to do. Number three, you got to earn extra money. Somehow, some way, you have to try to earn extra money. Now that you're cutting back, you still need to probably bring in more money, because most people, we live off of the income that we make. So we've been living paycheck to paycheck. Now we got to cut back on some bills and we have to make extra money. So how can we do that? You can get a full-time job. I know that's a lot. That depends on your situation. But let's say you can't get a full-time job. Get a part-time job. If you can't get a part-time job, maybe you might have to drive Uber on Lyft on your own time. Maybe you have to put in some overtime at work. Maybe, let's say you might get a raise, or you might get a bonus. Whatever extra money you get is not to be spent. It's to go toward your savings. Savings. That's the key. So the goal is cut back and at the same time get some extra money somehow, some way. But while you're getting the extra money, you have to save it. You have to pretend that you do not have it. Number four, pretend that you are broke. Now that you're getting extra money from step number three, you have to remember that extra money is to be saved and is not to be spent. So you still have to have the mentality of you don't have it. So what you have to do is, the key word is to negotiate. Let's pretend you have to buy something. Your cell phone breaks, something breaks that you have to buy. You have to have the mentality that that money does not exist. And you have to go with the mentality of that you don't have any money, so you are broke. So when you walk inside a store or you're going to purchase something, negotiate. try to get the best deal possible. If you go into a restaurant and you have to eat out, pull out the coupon, use those coupons, save money. You working hard for your money. Do not give it away easily. Negotiate. You want to cut back on bills? Call up the cable company, call up your credit card. Your credit card will lower their interest rates for you if you call them up and ask. What's the worst thing they can do? All they can do is tell you, no, we cannot do it. It's a simple conversation. But let's say they do it. Now it saves you money. I don't want to say thousands of dollars, but it could save you hundreds of dollars just by having a conversation. Call your credit card company and ask them to lower your interest rate on the interest. They're going to tell you yes or no. Some credit cards do it, some credit cards don't. Call your cable service and tell them something, tell them a story, but get them on the phone and try to have them lower your cable bill. Let them know that you cutting back. Be honest with them then. Say, hey, we cutting back on bills here. I love your service. I've been a loyal customer. What can you do for me? What promotions do you have? You'll be surprised that these companies try to work with you. They don't want to lose you. Or you can also threaten to leave them. You know how much times I call the cable company and say, hey, I'm paying this and, it's a little rough right now and I need to cut back on some bills. I might have to go to another company. They'll transfer you and they'll try their best to make it work. Does it work 100% of the time? No, it does not. Maybe 70 to 80% of the time. But it's better 70, 80% of the time, but then 0%, all it is a phone call. So I'm saying pretend that you broke, but have the mentality that anything you buy, have the mentality to negotiate. That's step number 4. Negotiate, but negotiate from a broke person's point of view. Every time I negotiate with somebody, they be like, man, it's just $20. That's what they tell me. When it's my money, it's just $20. You know what I tell them? I'm like, yeah, man, you're right. It's just $20. So now we at a standstill. Because you telling me it's just $20 when it's my money. So take $20 less if it's not a problem. But anyway, people, that's number 4. Pretend that you are broke and always negotiate. The worst thing they can tell you is no. 5. It's not necessarily a step on how to save money. It's why you're saving money. Remember, at the end of the day, when it gets tough, remember why you are doing it. Why are you doing it for? Everybody else has a different reason why they're doing it. For me, it's for my family security. I want to make sure I could give my kids the best possible financial security that I can. When my friends or family or people around me need help, I would like to be in a position where I can help them. I cannot help them if I'm struggling myself. If I have only $100, I can't give them $100. If I have $100 and they need $1, I can give them $1 because it doesn't necessarily hurt me. And of course, we know as adults, it's not $1 that people will need. So if you have $1,000 and somebody needs $50, you can help them. If you have $10,000 and somebody needs $500, you can help them without it hurting you. So remember, why are you doing it? To create wealth, to create financial security. You want to put your family in a better position. You don't trust jobs. Remember, a job is not your friend. That's my mentality. I always go into any job I have, and I know that they're not my friend. It's a business and we have an agreement. I'm going to do this and you're going to pay me that. But as soon as it gets slow, like what's going on right now, they start to lay people off. Because at the end of the day, it's not about my family. It's about profit for them and if they need me. So I never want to be in a position where my family could be out on the streets because of my wrong financial decisions. So that's another reason why I go so hard with trying to save money. I never want to be without, and only because nothing necessarily happened, but because I chose to make the wrong decision. I chose to get wants instead of needs, or to get wants over savings. You understand? Before I go, people, hit the like button for me, leave a comment, share the video. Financial Freedom Mindset. Also, my book, Financial Freedom Mindset, is available on Amazon. It also has more tips and they go in specific strategies that you can use to get to financial freedom. You can learn from my mistakes and also from my accomplishments. Anyway, people, have a good one. Financial freedom. Let's do it.